As mentioned, our approach to cancer cover places the customer at the center of everything we do. By continuously considering what's important to individual members and tailoring support around their needs, we are creating services that enhance every stage of the member journey, from prevention all the way through to post-treatment care. As such, from 2022, I'm delighted to announce our offering will include 3 major additions. Firstly, a new cancer support pack for members going through a cancer claim that really brings together all the ways Vitality holistically can support an individual in one place. It highlights how to access services like physiotherapy and mental health, offers guidance on exercise, nutrition, and self-help techniques, and also signposts to useful content and resources like charities who are experts in this field. Secondly, an enhanced supportive care pathway, providing specialist and expert support to members who have received the devastating news of a non-curative diagnosis. End-of-life care is an area that is far too often overlooked, so we knew we had to do something. And finally, we are launching a brand new cancer treatment support program. We know that dealing with cancer extends beyond just treatment. There are a whole host of things from nutrition to exercise and mental health support that can really aid recovery. That's why our cancer treatment support program, powered by Onko, provides personalized support to members going through cancer treatment. This program provides access to the insight and expertise of a specialist multidisciplinary team to provide members with one-to-one coaching and nutrition, physical, and mental health support. The journey will be fully digital and integrated with the wider Vitality program, with members receiving a fitness device and being rewarded with Vitality points for using this new service. We've piloted the service with our members and are really excited about its potential to improve outcomes and aid recovery. Now, I'm pleased to be joined by Kirsten Randerson, who is a friend and colleague of mine at Vitality, and who herself was recently diagnosed with cervical cancer. Kirsten is here today to share her own experiences and her journey with Vitality. Kirsten, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Denai. Thanks for having me.
So Kirsten, let's start at the very beginning. You were diagnosed with cervical cancer close to Christmas last year.
I received my normal NHS screening letter that invited me to a routine smear test. I wasn't concerned. I didn't have any symptoms. I'd never had an abnormal result. So receiving a letter saying that I did have abnormal cells and needed a colposcopy was out of the blue. But on I went, and then I was diagnosed with cervical cancer.
That must have been such a shock. How did you feel when you found out the news?
Hearing the words, "you have cancer," is probably the worst case scenario. It's devastating. My mind was going at 100 miles an hour. I was thinking, how on earth am I going to tell my family? Would I tell my children? How would I work? You know, I've got responsibilities. I think the not knowing was really scary.
The worst part. So what happened next?
I went to see the consultant. The consultant confirmed that I'd need to have an MRI scan. I remember being sat in the room with them, and she said to me, "You're taking this very well." And I simply said, "I don't know what to say." It was, just one of those moments.
Did you say anything about your recovery, how long it might take? Do you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah, so they told me that it would probably be a hysterectomy. Once I'd had the MRI scan, they confirmed that it was a radical hysterectomy and it would be a minimum 3 months off work.
Can you explain to me the ways Vitality supported you along the way?
Yeah, so I had Debbie as my case manager. She had in turn referred me over to a new partner of Vitality's called Onko Health. They offer a customised program to support you before, during and after your treatment. So I had my hour consultation with Adele the day before my surgery, and we discussed various different things. So I set a goal that I would like to achieve ultimately at the end of the programme, as well as weekly goals along the way. I then, after the sort of hour with her, I had my first catch up with her 10 days after the surgery, and I was really struggling with eating. So during the call, Adele had said, "Right, we'll get you meet Lucy, who was a dietitian. I had a chat with her. She offered me hints and tips, meal replacements, just in order to make sure that I was maintaining nutrition that was going to help my body heal in the best possible way. And that was, the most important thing to me was doing everything I could to heal and get back to some type of normality as quickly as possible.
That is so great to hear, and also really demonstrates the importance of treating the person, not just the condition that that person's going through. Mm-hmm. So how are you feeling now? How are you recovering?
I'm doing really well. I'm in 3 monthly monitoring, which is, great, best case scenario for me. I have downloaded the Peppy app, which has been incredibly useful during my wonderful medically induced menopause. That's a whole new minefield that I've come up against. But also I've been using Lucy, who's the physio at Onko Health, just to help support, give me different exercises that I can do that will support my strength and getting back up to normal, and ultimately my goal of cartwheeling on a beach.
Sounds like a great plan. I can't wait to see the photos. But finally, I want to ask you one piece of advice that you have for our audience, especially the women in the community. So what would that be?
Please get screened. It's, for me, the most important thing. I know it's not a nice thing to do. None of us like to go for a smear test, but for 2 minutes of your time, it's probably one of the most important tests. In my case, I had no symptoms. I'd never had an abnormal smear, and from that point to, within 3 years, diagnosed with cervical cancer. So although unlikely, it can happen, and it's out there for a reason, and please just get screened.
Great advice. Thank you so much for sharing your incredibly personal story with us. We are delighted you're recovering well, and if I can speak for myself, I'm so glad you're back in our team.
Thank you.